This is where we clash again. I actually love her as Catwoman.
Oh
What you
my
love about
god.
her? Come on.
Because you have to realize with Catwoman, we were low key kind of spoiled with the last Catwoman that we had through the Dark Knight series. Being as though I believe it was Anne Hathaway. And Anne Hathaway is like.
I gotta watch the third movie again.
I don't even remember her doing anything.
Yeah, I don't actually.
Anne Hathaway is like a top 10.
She didn't do shit.
She's a top 10 actress. And so, like, when she did play her role as Catwoman, it's like, oh, this is an actual role that's being played. Rather than with Zoe Kravitz, you have to remember the whole point of Catwoman isn't to be like, oh, I'm going to get a fucking award for this. No, I'm cute. I'm going to be very espionage and I'm going to say some one-liners that you might not like. And that's how he smoothed it out. She did her fucking well with that. I wasn't expecting. The thing is, I was not expecting a lot.
I wasn't either.
Yeah, like my expectations
Here's
were
the
like
thing.
to the ground with Catwoman, but it's still good done.
She did everything. She displayed everything that the writers could basically pull off.
Tell her,
It's the
yeah.
writing that you're talking about, not her as Catwoman.
Yeah.
Because if it was anybody, they would have did exactly what you was talking about.
Yeah.
You was talking about the character that they wrote. And to go against that, I don't like the character itself in Batman.
But
You
then
don't,
Selena
oh, you
Kyle-
don't like her, period?
Just in this Batman.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that
okay.
Batman.
I don't like this
Is there
interpretation of her.
Is there any Catwoman that you actually like?
Can I? Oh.
Most of the cartoon ones. But she wasn't, honestly, she wasn't evil enough for me. I didn't like that they made her a victim, for real.
I kind
I agree
of
with
so what I'm saying, I didn't like her as an actor, but I fucked with like the role. You kind of, you know, for like the basically like, I mean, what am I trying to say? Like,
The
I
character,
fuck
the
with-
way it was written.
yeah, I fuck with how like how you said like we've been kind of spoiled. I fuck with the fact that they made Catwoman a Catwoman. I was like, oh, cool. You know, so I mean, now definitely she was still trying to fuck Bruce, but you know, Bruce hasn't learned.
Forced romance, by the way.
Definitely, you know what I'm saying. But I felt,
hated it.
But yeah, but like I liked it before she even like tried it. And he was just like, no. I was like, okay, I hope they don't like approach this like later on in the movie, and they did. And I was like, and then like I guess like I don't know, but they didn't. They definitely didn't have to do that shit. But she was cool. She was cool. I was like, you know, just not acting wise, but like I feel like she definitely did play her part. You know what I mean? Like she did everything I felt like Catwoman in that universe should have did, I guess. But yeah, just as far as the acting wise, I'm just like, you feel like she could have went like a little more rogue.
I don't. Yes, that's what I'm expecting from Catwoman. I'm expecting some more thievery. You feel me? I wanted to see more. It was almost like
She wasn't a villain.
Like I know at some points, like yeah, exactly. That's my main point. And I know at some points in the actual Batman lore, her and Batman team up, but they were too like
Buddy.
camaraderie.
It was damn near
It was
Batman and
too-
Robin.
Exactly. Oh, it was almost like she was his Robin for real. It
Yeah.
wasn't like she didn't give him no issues in the movie
was no
whatsoever.
pushback. There was no pushback.
she definitely did like
At the
dip on you
end,
at the
when
club.
she, at the end
I
of the
mean,
club.
But then she did come back.
What was that word for real? Like she just did some female shit. She was on
That
her
was
own
exactly when
little
she
mission
did that. I
for
was
real.
like, oh, this is exactly what I thought
But
she was ready
it
to
was
do.
just like, come on now, no, she was supposed to be a real issue. She was supposed to run off on the plug twice on this nigga. You feel me? Like,
Which I was expecting at some point, but I mean, this is a softer
like they were
Catwoman.
kissing.
She
They
definitely
rolled off in the sun together.
Yo, and with the forced romance thing where it's just like y'all didn't have to like have it be like they had to set up where it's like okay they're not about to do anything and then she just kind of throw herself or whatever and I was just like come on y'all.
And the Catwoman that I know is supposed to be more seductive with a purpose rather than seductive for love.
I was just ready to say I don't know if y'all niggas
Like,
She was more lonely than fucking like
Yes.
feisty.
yes.
Yeah, her seduction is supposed to throw Batman off rather than try to pull him close.
Right.
Ooh, I'm alone. You wanna come beat it up?
And then honestly,
Be like
it
this
was
criminals.
the romance. It was no like character development towards the romance. It was really forced. It
Yeah.
was no
But Bruce
like
ain't wanted
I don't
anyway.
even know no reason why she was trying to get him anyway. It was really no real reason for real. You see what I'm saying?
She didn't
Like,
explain the attraction.
Yeah, it
it was
wasn't
just like,
no-
oh, you're right here. Let me.
yeah, like
She was trying to go. She just be beating niggas up for her. That should be getting her little pussy wet for her. She's
all right, well,
That's what it takes.
since we're talking about roles, how do y'all feel about Robert as Batman?
Battison is a good Battison is a good Batman.
You
I
call
will
it
say
Madison?
because
hate it.
mainly because like I think from my experience with this Batman, it's the Euphoria Batman. It's the very dramatic, these cool shots. We're not going to explain much. We're going to let the cinematography do the talking with this Batman. And that's kind of what I was expecting, being as though you have fucking Robert Pattinson as Batman. Don't hate him, but you served your purpose, just like Zoe Kravitz. I don't hate her. She served her purpose. I felt like in terms of his character, his like emotional capacity as Bruce Wayne / Batman, they made sense. It didn't blow me away, but it worked. And I felt like I was going in. I felt like I was going in with a very like, you have a high role, young man. You better pull off this Batman. You have a long list of Batmans looking towards you. No, not really. This kind of just works for the time being and the time that we're in. It's very young. It's very emotional. It's very dark. This is the Tumblr Batman. This is the Tumblr Batman, where as though you have eyeshadow, then you're Kyle instead of just straight Kyle. So, quite frankly, Battison works for me, but only because of the setting that we're in. Thoughts on this connection?
I kind of didn't get what you said at all.
You didn't?
Nah.
Okay, so
So all right,
saying-
just get like start from the middle where you was talking because my mic ended up fucking up in the middle. I was trying to fix the mic and I fucked the shit up.
it's all good. So essentially, this Batman is purely an aesthetic Batman. Whereas though you're not really doing a bunch of Bruce Wayne shit like going to these parties.
Nigga. Oh my
Let
god,
me
my
finish.
fault. Because that's another thing I forgot that I had an issue with. But go ahead.
You're not doing a bunch of Bruce Wayne shit, whereas though you're going out to like party and like being all dapper and shit. You think of fucking what's your name?
He ain't.
The last Batman, where he literally pulled up in the fucking Mozzie and all that shit,
Yeah,
exactly.
doing it up.
Well, look, he didn't get there yet. Like, he like this is his second year, and I think like I can't remember who he was talking to, but you can even hear in his language like he like right now he just on I'm beating ass mode. Like he wasn't worried about that bitch. He not worried about stunting. He's
Yeah.
angry right now.
Exactly.
So
But
that's why none of
but
that.
here's the
And that's
thing,
what
though.
makes him the Euphoria Batman. You're not stylish. You're just moody and broody.
But we forgetting about Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne is still always gotta be Bruce Wayne. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like you still
Well-
have to go to these little parties.
Well,
and
see,
shit.
that's the thing. He wasn't. Remember, Alfred kept telling him like, yeah, like I've been trying to set it up, and the ladies like, I've been trying to find you. Like he's not. He don't give a fuck right now.
We.
It'd be
I
better
get
if he
that.
did, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just like just the space right now, and this is his second year being Batman. He hasn't even developed like I gotta do this stuff. Like I'm obviously he just dealt with Joker, and now this nigga he's like, yo, I just gotta beat these niggas the fuck up right now. You know what I mean? So
I wasn't even thinking of the fact that this Batman has already dealt with Joker.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and this is his
Yeah.
second year. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure like after maybe like year 3, 4, he'd be like, all right, cool. You know, I got this shit figured out. Like even in the movie, we watched this nigga figure it out. Like the typical Batman, like okay, I'm avenged. Like the whole movie, he was loud Batman. Like he walked in the building, beat niggas up at the door, and just walked in. Like I was like,
Yeah, he didn't get his
that was
finesse
so
yet.
hard. You know what I'm saying? So like we watching him become Batman. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
he obviously hasn't learned to become Bruce Wayne yet, even at that point. So that's why I was saying I didn't even care. Like just like that's just where he was. At the
Because
time.
man,
Right.
one of my favorite scenes in the Batman the cartoon was I think it was the first episode. The first time you see Bruce Wayne, he's at the game, frontline seats with a bad bitch, and then he get a cell phone call. You see what I'm saying? That
Like we got action.
I wanted at least a little bit of that Bruce Wayne for real, because Bruce Wayne, regardless of that, he's always been a playboy. Always. He like James Bond for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But shit, I guess like you can even tell like niggas been yearning for it because when he pulled up to the funeral, that like it was a light show. As soon as they was like, oh my god, it's Bruce fucking Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So like I really
This
just
nigga
feel like
was depressed.
yeah, he just didn't turn his swag on.
Which
yet. That's
is
it.
why they had to get Robert Pattinson. Who else to play a depressed Batman?
Yo, it's so hard. Yo wasn't even worried about Zoe Kravitz. She throwing that shit at him. He was just like, he said, look at me. He said, look at me. He grabbed her little face. He said, all right, they working. I was like, yeah. He was like,
Yeah, you don't care. Yeah.
she was like,
Throw a little hissy fit in the
not gonna
club.
give me none. Oh shit.
I do have to go back to the Riddler part in terms of what didn't necessarily work for me. Character-wise, it worked. It fits with the time. I just felt like the execution was just a tad bit off.
I agree.
Like,
I think I agree too, but go ahead.
in terms of like how it was portrayed per se from the actor. No disrespect to the actor. I just felt like when it came to the Riddler, there should be a little bit more confidence. Just slightly more. I'm not asking you to be like Jim Carrey, swing your dick. I can't figure out this hint. Haha. But more so of a, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty smart. You can't figure this shit out. I expect you to figure it out, but you can't because I'm the brain here. And I didn't get that. And that's what I didn't like about the Riddler. That's what I said about the villain thing. But overall, villains I did like. I fucking loved the Penguin. I love that he was
Ooh.
none of y'all didn't like him. I love Falcone. And I love who they got for Falcone, too.
Ooh.
Man,
Here we go. Here we go.
Look like,
hate
look
that
like
nigga
a
so
side
much.
character from the Cosby
Yeah,
Show.
yo, he wasn't important.
I hate that man.
Bro, that
He did
nigga.
not look important at all.
I'm gonna tell y'all niggas, yo. Anybody that was in fucking Transformers 2 had their careers ruined, yo. So I see this nigga, I see that dumb ass nigga from Transformers 2 who was like, when they fucking like, they was look, I think it was like the Constructicons formed together. He said, "I'm by the testicles." That's him.